What's going on? This is Math Relation RDOM. Right now we're looking at the pursuit where we're applying geometry and football together, specifically within right triangles. So highlight the basics one out, especially for, it's just for anybody out there, especially we just had the Super Bowl. So a lot of people might have been in tune with football, maybe you didn't know, but there's a lot of math that is involved. It's a game of inches and it's a game of angles. So, without further ado, let's get those inches and the angles together. All right, so where did I just put my eraser? Here we go, right. Right now, we're gonna focus on you playing defensive end, outside linebacker to edge. I got my Wisconsin gear still from when I played outside linebacker with them. You know, I was 245. I'm our receiver built right now, but I was 245. So let's say we're here. All right, defensive end. We got offensive tackle, offensive guard, center, guard, tackle, quarterback, and halfback. Where we're focusing on, let's say they got a slot receiver over here, which should be a tight end. And we're responsible for C gap. A little closer. So I can play contain out here. I can force myself to go in. And then I know if I'm looking either at my running back or linebacker, that's where my hypotenuse angle is going to come from. And I can even reverse it on the other split as well. We can go a direct point attack going straight to the linebacker, running back while we're playing the edge. You know what? I'm gonna do that. Let's do that. So it just even stick. Let's have it stick even further. There we go. Have it stick even further. So we got from the ball, being height, opposite. We're lined up here in our adjacent. And then here's hypotenuse. So opposite end, right? Let's say this is a play going away from us, but we still want to make sure we're playing in contain, so we'll be falling trail going through different gaps. For edge rushing, I know I got straight to running back, halfback. That's me going directly through. Or if I stay put, I'm right here in my C gap. So we can see our angles being shown here. Oftentimes we got sine, cosine, and tangent. So sine, cosine, tangent. Let's look that up real quick. So triangle rules. So sine tells us we're looking for opposite over hypotenuse. So this is perfect. This is exactly where we are. This is the angle that's being calculated. Here, standing at the position of the defensive end, going all the way to the opposite aspect, and then where I can play contain in the backfield for either, let's say, the running back coming outside, so I'm going to get a tackle for a loss, or maybe there's an RPO, and somehow the quarterback still has the ball, and I can make myself get a sack. So I'm looking on my angles from me playing from defensive end, outside linebacker, responsible for the C gap, playing contain. However, if I can make a play, I got to go directly to it, or I trail inside when the play is on the opposite end. So we got opposite over hypotenuse. Perfect. Opposite side, hypotenuse. This is our angle. Then we have cosine, which is adjacent over hypotenuse. So adjacent, this is where you're playing inside contain. Maybe this might be a run play. You are holding contain from the outside. You don't want anything to bounce out outside. But yeah, if this ball comes in with your gap, you know you're playing outside contain, you can still make a play, or you can force it to go back inside where you can have help with your support with your nose guard, another defensive end, and then your linebackers that be lined up here, which is where our triangle rules are. Last but certainly not least, tangent. This is what opposite side over adjacent side. So that's anything on this behalf. Opposite, if you're playing defensive end, your eyes is on the backfield. Your eyes is also looking within your guard and tackle here. But from the opposite end, this could be where I got a slot receiver who just motioned over, came through, maybe even a tight end. But as well, you could be running. The tackle could come inside, so you could be forced to having a puller coming from the opposite end to come ahead and block you. Whereas you playing adjacent, you can cram down this line. Anything that comes down, coaches are always going to be teaching you to bring yourself a little bit closer in to know if people are coming away, more than often than not, something's coming for you really more strong. So we got sine, cosine, and tangent for now. Defensive end, outside linebacker, the edge position. I feel like Wizard Kelly. I'm not even in my own video, but we focusing on here. So let's get to stepping. We just build out our triangle. We got this out perfectly. Let's see. I got my tangent as we done. So tangent, we're looking at comparing the width to our depth. So what is how wide I can be to how far deep that I can go. That is what our tangent is showing from the opposite end to adjacent side. What's on my opposite aspect, my adjacent flat line to the center of the field. Sine, we're going from opposite to hypotenuse. This is saying, what is my direct pursuit? I got a straight line beaming you right to the quarterback and running back. That's my direct pursuit. This is you following your hypotenuse. So this is where oftentimes you might have a coach. This is where your hips play the biggest role. You want to make sure you are able to bend. You want to make sure you're able to do a strong edge rush where you can get past this left tackle. All of these things are what's going to matter. This is what helps you out with hand placement and your footwork. Last we got cosine, so we're looking at the adjacent to hypotenuse. So this is saying comparing your depth to your direct pursuit. As mentioned, you also may have some extra pulling coming this way. You may have a guard that's going to be coming down. You might have two people blocking down to come get you. But how can you hold the line? How could you stay framed there? You don't want to get swallowed in. You want to make sure they're being pushed back. So it's in the game of the trenches. That's why this part is so heavily discussed, because this is where most line of scrimmage, of course, is utilized. It's your first line of step of the ball. So now that you understand this, we can look at a calculator, and we don't have to look at a calculator for it to be scary. This is more so going to be a calculator shown as equipment. So you can do this with your phone. We can go about it. Or we got our other tool piece. So whichever way works, we can learn them both, apply it. Now this stuff won't look too far difficult, because we're going to be able to identify where exactly we need to go. So let's do exactly that. First things first, you want to be able to find a degree. And by being able to find the degree, we can be able to calculate it. So let's get it started. Let's create two basic problems where we can explain how to solve by assigning, let's go with our feet, our distance, and we can calculate a Pythagorean theorem here. Let's go ahead, let me look at a problem that's in our book. I like this. So let's focus on this. We're here at defensive end. I'm gonna go over the Pythagorean theorem really quick, but we'll still apply with our sine, cosine, tangent rules. So here we are, defensive end. You got 9 yards to be able to go downfield. So if I'm looking at my opposite end for me to go all the way to my quarterback, right here, this is 9 yards. To know the depth to the quarterback, let's say, my adjacent side, so how wide I am, this is 12. What we're going to focus on right now is our direct pursuit, starting out from the edge to go directly to our quarterback. So if I know where the ball is snapped to the quarterback, they're 9 yards out. Me being positioned 12 to the inside where the center is located. But I'll say, okay, if I'm here on this outside edge and I got to go directly to it, that means I have my opposite side, I have my adjacent side, but what's missing, direct pursuit, is my hypotenuse. So we know the Pythagorean theorem is able to show us this way. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. You can say these two are interchangeable. I could call this A, B, but my hypotenuse is always going to be C. So let's go 9 for A and make this 9 squared. 12 here for B. And then our direct pursuit is what we're looking for. 9 times 9, 9 raised to the second power, 81. 12 times 12, 12 raised to the second power, 144. Let's go ahead and calculate 81 and 144. I believe that's what, 225? Perfect. 225 is now equal to C squared. I need to get the letter C now by itself, since I knew 9 was A, 12 is B. I need to know what is my C. So square root of 225, square root your C. The square root of 225 is the result of 15 being multiplied by 15, C being multiplied by C. So my direct pursuit as my defensive end to the quarterback is a total of 15 yards. And that makes sense because my direct pursuit is going to be longer than a directly underneath from center to quarterback, 9 yards out. My space from me from defensive end to the center, or maybe even my nose guard, 12 yards. But since I'm playing on the outside and I got to go straight diagonally across, it's my hypotenuse angle right here. It's got to be my longest side. But with that pursuit still, it's only slightly longer than what I know from my edge all the way from my adjacent side, which is 12, which makes sense that this is a 15 yard. So we got a 9, 12, 15, which is perfect. 9, 12, 15, perfect square. Pause it if you need anything. If you have a comment or question, please feel free to mark it. So this is 16 minutes in. Say, hey, Mr. Jackson, clarify this, or, oh, Mr. Jackson, you put that perfectly. I never had a teacher explain that to me. It makes sense why you're the best teacher in all of South Florida, and now you're about to be the best teacher in all of the United States of America. You can also make a comment like that, too. All right. Let's do another one. So we can go on the opposite end as well. We just had a Super Bowl. I think Seattle had a bunch of sacks, right? So let's say we stepping a little bit back now. We're playing contain. I got somebody else that's already on defensive end aspect, but now I am outside linebacker. And now here's my setup. Once again, the width across, it says it's 8 yards. The depth now from center to quarterback, they're in shotgun. This is 15 yards. If I'm going to be blitzing as well, and I got some help right here, but they're sending 2, I have him lined up, and then me just have a straight pursuit, that means we're looking at our hypotenuse here. So opposite end, we got that to be 8 yards. Adjacent side, 15. I got them interchanged, but for the sake of it, still get it done. Actually, no, let's apply it. So this is 15 yards. This is 8. So 8 squared plus 15 squared, C squared. 8 times 8, 64. We just got from 15 with a 225. Now we got our C squared. Add these two up, 5, 4, 9, 6, 2, is 8, 289 here. Take that square root there, line it up with C squared, 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 8, 15. I know I'm slightly up, but I'm not quite at 20. That would have been 400. 17. 7 times 7 is 49, so I know I got a 9 here. 4, 4, that gives us our 8. 1, 1. We got our 2. 289. Perfect. So this would be 17 yards. My hypotenuse, my direct pursuit of me blitzing to go from outside linebacker directly to the middle of the plate of my quarterback, or the other end of the quarterback, apologies, 17 yards. But now let's go ahead and let's find how to calculate angles now. Now let's go ahead, instead of looking from our hypotenuse aspect, let's get some other information that's being shown. Let's calculate what we need to do, and then we can move on to angles. So Let's do it. 15. That is our adjacent side. Opposite with our 8. All right, let's see. All right, let's look for the whip. So we're defensive end. Our direct pursuit of path is 13 yards to the quarterback. So they're telling us what we got. So this is our hypotenuse. We know we're guaranteed 13 yards. Depth, they got us focused on this saying it's 5 yards out. So let's say they're doing an RPO now. If I find myself going directly through, but I find myself slightly up, I need to know what's going to happen in this case. So I'm doing my job where I'm maintaining contain, but now this is where we change ourselves from being a guy who might be a 2-star, 3-star athlete, or maybe no star, but we about to earn our stripes. So we need to know what our opposite end is. So we got 5x, 5 squared. Let's say this is A. Let's go B squared. Then we got our C. 13. 5 times 5 is 25. B remains the same. 13 and 13, 169. But I still need to know what this distance is. So subtract 25 from here, subtract 25 from here, b squared, 144, square root, b equals 12. So this distance, 12. I'm rocking with it. Let's go direct pursuit again. Let's say we got 10 yards. Direct pursuit again. We got 10 yards. So that's going to be our hypotenuse. Opposite aspect. Here we got 6. We're looking for our adjacent. So we got to see what is this inside aspect here. So let's set it up. A is 6. So 6 squared plus b squared equals 10 squared. That's 36 plus b equals 100. Minus 36 as b squared, 64, square root. There we go. We got 8. That quick, steady, ready. Let's go. Now let's bridge this over to angles. We got our distance. We can calculate that out pretty good. The reason why I kept the sine, cosine, tangent here is this is where geometry starts kicking your butt. So distance teaches you how far you need to cover. Angles are going to teach you how sharp you need to take your path. This is contained. So let's focus on tangent. We're going to see our contained angle, how we need to play. Sine and cosine are going to be our wide and depth situations. Run the angles. Let's get it. Let's see, a problem we can be able to start with. All right, let's get our calculators. So we got width, opposite side, it's 12. Depth, 16. Opposite over adjacent. 12, 16. Opposite side. Adjacent side. So with your calculator, show y'all both ways. So for those who use the phones, right? We're gonna go 12 divided by 16. 75. So since we are here, 12, 16, simplify that out, that's 75. But what we're going to be doing now is we need to find the angle that we need to be pursuing. The angle we need to be pursuing. So that is right here. If I'm on that edge, how am I finna bend and get off this edge? How quickly can I get off the butt of this left tackle, or right tackle in this case, to get off to this edge? So we know we're here at 75, but since we already divided first, we know it's tangent, I'm not gonna take this. I'm gonna press second, and then we're gonna press tangent. So everything should line up just like this. And now, last thing, press equal. So I'm at 36.86. I can round that up. If we want to go a full angle, I need a 37-degree angle. So this point right here, from our outside linebacker coming up, this degree is 37. So we did 12 over 16. I divided my sides. Since I divided my sides already, I press second, tangent. So that had me at the inverse, which put this at tangent -1 of 0.75, which gave us our degree. That's the only way you get your degree right there. Everything else will put it as a percentage point, which would be less than 0, but we need a degree. So that's your percentage out of 100. 1 through 100, that gives us 36. We got 36.86, so round it up. Boom. We need to go at a 37-degree. Let's focus on another one. Let's go into another tangent. Let's say we got our opposite side length now. Instead of it being at 12 and 16, let's go with 9 for our opposite side. And adjacent, we got 20 yards. So we're playing wide contain here. Maybe we might be just doing a 3 rush set. This might be something for Hail Mary. We about to go into halftime. Coach wants to play prevent and contain. So that's 9 from my opposite side, 20 on my adjacent side. And now we get this going. 9 divided by 20. So, cancel everything out. Clear my AC. 9 divided by 20. We get 0.45. Once again, this is tangent. So I'm going to go second. And then I'm going to press tangent, where you see that inverse of a negative exponent of 1. And now you got tangent, -1 of 0.45. So this is what your inverse applies to. Now you go ahead and press equal and see what that degree is. Boom. 24. And since it says 24.22, we keep it rounded down. It's less than 5. So our degree is 24. But hey, tangent's easy now. I got my triangle. Boom, boom. Let's focus on sine. What if I have the pursuit I need to go on? What if, hey, opposite side here is 10. My pursuit is 18. I need to know what this percentage is. If I got full depth and pursuit, let's find what that degree is. So that says opposite over hypotenuse. That tells me I'm going for my sine. Sine, opposite over hypotenuse. I already got the right triangle, so we're saying, hey, what's my degree from here? What's my degree from here? What type of angle do I need to take? I know it's gonna give me 18 yards. We got 10 yards already in the backfield. I'm wide up already. It's gonna give me 18 yards to get there if I go straight at that angle. So, sine, opposite over hypotenuse. Opposite is 10, hypotenuse here, 10 over 18. 10 divided by 18, let's go ahead. Let's do it with calculator here. 10 divided by, delete, here we go. 10 divided by 18. Go ahead and press equals. Got 5 over 9 if I want to turn that to a degree, but hey, cool, leave it like that. Now we're gonna go second, so shift and sine. Let's go 5 over 9. All it does is reduce 10 and 18 by 2. 10 divided by 2 is 5, not 18 divided by 2 is 9, so sine of 5 over 9. Press equal. 0.589. I think I need to type as a decimal, 589. Let's see, clear. Let's see where IMV mode. Yeah. I guess we're going to the infamous user on the phone. Alright, so 10 divided by 18. There we go. 33.74, round that up to 34 degrees. So that's for sine. So once again, that was second tangent. So here, second, right up there. Then you're going to go to sine, right here. 10 divided by 18. Boom. 33.74, 7, round that up, 34 degrees. Now let's do cosine and we can get out of here. So cosine, adjacent over hypotenuse. So we're looking here to here. Let's go with adjacent side is 14, hypotenuse of 20. So boom. Adjacent hypotenuse, that's cosine, 14 over 20. Same procedure. So cosine, press second. Two numbers we're dividing, 14 divided by 20. Boom, 45.5, so run it up to 46. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. On Wisconsin. I'm Mr. Jackson. That is RDOM with geometry. You can be able to learn more about it. I'll give you the lesson. You apply some questions. I got some Florida standard-based alignment there, which you can be able to use all throughout the country to help just get you prepared. And just like anything, for those who play sports, if you are only practicing when your team practice, you're only doing the average. So for everybody out here who's tuning in, listening, congratulations, because you're not doing what the average is doing. Most of your peers are on TikTok, social media. If they're productive, maybe they got a job. But most of them, distractions. If you can buy some time and look at this for 36 minutes just to start getting some reps, you're setting yourself apart as a student. It's the same way as being an athlete. So good job to you. Thank you for supporting us. I'm happy to be supporting you. Let's keep this growing.